From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, July 24th, 2023. I am back in the Midwest. I had a wonderful time in Saskatoon at Ag in Motion last week. Thanks to those of you that came and said, hey. It was a really great day, really great week, I should say. It was nice to get some rain, nice to get some sun. I feel like I got the whole summer variety up there in Saskatoon. Now, as we look at the pattern going forward through this coming week, we've got a couple of features here. One being the ridge of high pressure across the western U.S., and then we've got this upper level low across the Pacific Ocean, kind of in the Gulf of Alaska. And so between those two features, we get flow doing something like this. We've got this enhanced jet stream flow coming up over the top of the ridge that is riddled with these little short waves, and these little short wave disturbances do this. They kick off little clusters of thunderstorms. Now, this is going to be the pattern for the next 3 to 4 days. Most of this shower and storm activity focused north of Highway 16. South of Highway 16, shower and storm activity going to be much more isolated, much more hit or miss. So looking at the radar Monday morning, again, a larger area of showers, maybe some embedded thunderstorms remaining. That's moving east of Edmonton, moving over toward the central border between Alberta and Saskatchewan. And so we can see that with the NAM model picking up on that well here early on Monday morning. And as we just animate this over the next 3.5 days, we'll watch this upper level low kind of try to make its way up and over the top of the ridge. We'll see showers and storms again becoming pretty numerous, especially north of Highway 16. And as I slow this down, we'll show you the best chance for some showers and storms south of Highway 16. That is going to come in right here as we get into late tonight into the day on Tuesday with this little disturbance that comes riding in through southern portions of the Prairie provinces. Again, I'm kind of rocking back and forth Monday night into Tuesday night here. As I take this a little bit further, we'll go into the day on Wednesday. We'll see those showers and storms again flaring up in the Saskatoon area, generally north of Highway 16, with pretty clear conditions south of Highway 16. So this is your Wednesday. Let me go ahead and take this back. We'll get it all the way into midday Thursday. So here we go. This is your Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, and this is your Thursday morning. So we're starting to kind of lose the focus here for the showers and storms as we get later into the week. So we look at total precipitation through midday Thursday. So this is July 24th through midday on the 27th. Again, you can see the shower and storm activity most numerous north of Highway 16. Cannot rule out some isolated shower and thunderstorm activity south of Highway 16. That, of course, would be where the largest risk for some strong storms would be. Those would just be very isolated in nature, with those pockets of maybe some locally heavy rain, perhaps some hail, again, being very, localized in nature. Now, as we compare the NAM on the left, the European on the right, both of these over the next 3.5 days. So taking it through midday Thursday, July 27th, the same picture here. Heavy rain possible north of Highway 16. Again, portions of central into northern Alberta, looking at another round of, a soaking rain here. This is going to be north of Calgary up to Peace River over toward Edmonton. That chance for some heavier rain continues off to the east towards Saskatoon. And then areas south of that, shower and thunderstorm activity going to be much more isolated, much more miss than it is hit. But we cannot rule out a couple of storms in this area, a couple of which could be strong. That most numerous shower and thunderstorm activity off to the north. Now, as we look at the next 10 days, this is the European model, just taking it verbatim. Same pattern really continues on into the end of the week and potentially into early next week. And that is, again, the chance for more numerous heavy rain events north of Highway 16. South of that, we're talking about isolated hit or miss shower and thunderstorm activity. I mean, we're going to be turning back the heat as we get into the end of the week, into early next week, and kind of reducing the shower and thunderstorm activity as we get into the weekend, the end of the week here. And the reason being, kind of lose the influence of the trough, and we'll go ahead and animate this, taking it through the next 10 days, and then I'll kind of bring it back and go through time with you here. Again, taking it back to Monday, this is where we've got the influence of the high to the south, the area of low pressure off to our west, so we get that strong flow kind of enhanced coming in between that, and that's what sets us up for an active storm track. Unfortunately, just not cashing in on that south of Highway 16. This is just going to, again, hit the same areas on that northern trajectory. Take the drawings off here, take this through much of the week. This is your Wednesday. We get into Thursday, the trough makes its way into the prairie. This is going to send our temperatures much cooler, but we start to kind of lose the definition and the support of that trough by we get to the mid and late part of the week. Now we've got this kind of funky flow kind of coming in around the base of the remnants of the low across the Pacific. We've got flow coming up over the top of this ridge off to our north. So we kind of lose the enhanced flow as we get later on into the week, and that's going to bring those shower and storm chances back down. And then as we get into the weekend, this is days 6 and 7, getting into Sunday, approximately July 30th or so, start to see some ridging setting back up across the prairie, and that would allow warmth to kind of return to the region again in kind of days 7 to 10. So we're getting out there in the forecast period. As we look at the jet stream flow, we're just looking at the jet stream winds at 200 millibars, so up kind of near the very tippy top of the troposphere. And again, as we get started this week, you see that flow I've been drawing coming around the ridge, around the base of that trough. We get that enhanced flow right across the prairie. So that is what sets us up for this active pattern. Of course, more stormy north of Highway 16, more isolated south of Highway 16. We'll take the drawings off here, and then we'll bring it toward the later part of the week. And this is where you see we start to kind of lose the definition as we get into the weekend. We start to take on a bit of a different flow. The strongest jet stream flow now well off to our east, and then we just have this kind of more subtle flow coming over the top of the ridge. And that keeps us from getting too hot. It also keeps the precipitation chances in the neighborhood. So again, we're talking about, a very summer pattern, but not as bad as it could be summer pattern as we get into the weekend and early next week. We'll look at those precipitation chances over the next 10 days. Again, most numerous over the next few. So this would be your Monday afternoon. Again, talking about further to the west, those precipitation chances going to be highest in the Peace River area, Calgary, then maybe Edmonton later on tonight. And then as we get into Tuesday, this first little wave of low pressure makes its way into the prairie. We start to bring those chances of showers and storms all the way into southern Manitoba by the time we get into Tuesday evening. So let's go back here. This is your Monday. This is your Monday night, your Tuesday night. We're getting into Wednesday night. Here's your Thursday night, and now we're getting into Friday. And as we get into the weekend, you're going to start to see the shower and storm activity begin to slowly recede from the area. We start to build high pressure over the prairie. Shower and thunderstorm activity moves off to the east for the most part as we get into the weekend. So there you have it. It's kind of a gradual increase as we head through midweek, and then a gradual decrease in shower and storm activity. Again, most numerous north of Highway 16, but especially midweek, we can't rule out the chance for a couple of clusters of thunderstorms south of Highway 16 across very dry portions of the prairie here where we badly need some moisture. So unfortunately, can't say that it's going to be a guarantee here, but some of you will get some rain. Just a lot more of you will not south of Highway 16. Your next 10 days broken up in half, days 1 through 5 on the left, and then days 5 through 10 on the right. We're looking at the precipitation departure from average, and what you see is over the next 5 days, again, north of Highway 16, quite stormy. Peace River over toward Edmonton, a good chance for some more soaking rains over the next 3 to 4 days. South of Highway 16, areas like Medicine Hat, Regina, over toward Brandon. Can't rule out a chance for some midweek showers and storms. They're going to be more isolated than they are hit. But again, maybe some severe weather kind of wrapped in with that. Some large hail, some locally heavy rains, perhaps some gusty winds. Can't rule out a tornado or two through the week either, with that area of low pressure making its way in. Your next 10 days, the probability of picking up 1 inch or more of heavy rain, or rain in general, we'll talk about that chance being highest. Again, Peace River over toward Edmonton, maybe down to Calgary, the northern half of Alberta, northern half of Saskatchewan. And then as you get down into southern portions of Manitoba, you get that slightly higher chance of some of this northwest flow area, bringing in more routine chances for showers and storms. So honestly, 30 to 50% chance of that 1 inch of rain being picked up in Brandon over toward Winnipeg. We'll take a look at the temperatures then. As we head through the middle and late part of the week, we see that cooler air associated with the area of low pressure begin to send our temperatures a little cooler, but late week into the weekend, early next week, we start to lose the cooler temperatures as we lose that troughing. We start to see those warmer temperatures start to return. Now, how hot it gets, I'm not quite so sure. Again, this is not the worst pattern we could have. That ridge of high pressure quite south, kind of locked in here across the desert southwest, so we get flow coming over the top of that. The reason we're drier and warmer is because, again, we lose the trough. We lose the area of low pressure that's really well defined across the Gulf of Alaska that has that flow coming in really strong like that. Instead, taking away that trough, you kind of split flow. So the flows kind of split, comes back together to our east. So when we get winds that are coming together, like they are right here in the upper levels of the atmosphere, those winds, as they come together aloft, they send the air sinking. So we've got, air converging above our heads. When that air meets above our heads, it has nowhere to go but down. So then we force sinking motion in the atmosphere overhead. That is a drier pattern. We want rising motion to be generating showers and thunderstorms. So that's what kind of sends us into a quieter pattern. But again, it's not one that has the ridge of high pressure situated right over the top of us to where the center of the heat is right overhead. We're completely shut down. Instead, it's just going to be a pretty summer-like pattern. We're going to be cooler this week with showers and storms in the area, trending to a warmer, drier pattern over the weekend into early next week, but some indication that maybe we bring back some cooler temperatures, some precipitation as we get maybe to days 10 to 14. It's a pattern that I think is going to offer variety and some that should at least keep us, from getting too out of hand as we head through the rest of July into the beginning of August. So Calgary, 33 today, mid-20s by the time we get to tomorrow, down to 22 for the high on Thursday. Edmonton, much cooler, 19 on Wednesday, 18 on Thursday. There's that cool down I'm talking about mid to late week. Saskatoon, you feel it as well. You're hot today, 33, 32 on Tuesday, 26 Wednesday, down to 21 for the high on Thursday, only 22 on Friday. Regina, very similar look, lower 30s today, mid 30s tomorrow, upper 20s by the time we get to mid to late week. And in Winnipeg, the cool front, just a little more delayed. So you feel the heat here over the next few days with that high down to 25 Thursday and Friday. So a lot of words to kind of, deliver a pretty simple pattern here. Chances for showers and storms north of Highway 16, most numerous. South, going to be more isolated. Temperatures hotter to start the week off, trending cooler mid to late week. Then we're likely looking at a return to warmer and drier conditions over the weekend into early next week. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday.